Compared to last weekend's Grand Prix in Britain, Mercedes' lead over the two other top teams, Red Bull Racing and Ferrari, was smaller. The German team unveiled a significant update package at Silverstone, but it's unclear if the differences would be as minor in Austria the following week. The W13 performed well throughout the British GP weekend, as predicted earlier. Uncertainty surrounds the cost of this, which may be either the Mercedes car's performance on the circuit or actual upgrades to the car. What are the updates it will be coming up with? We will know in this video. Subscribe F1 Viral and stay with us till the last to know all about it. Let's start. Journalist Michael Schmidt from Auto, Motor and Sports claims that Mercedes itself is still unsure of the following. Mercedes is unsure of how Spielberg will benefit them. It'll be a good circuit to evaluate how effective the Silverstone improvements are. Mercedes, informed me that they would now provide minor upgrades to every race, all of which would be floor-related. Following a valiant 24-hour effort by his engineering team, Mercedes' Lewis Hamilton, who started 8th on the grid, raced to his third consecutive podium finish in the Formula One 2022 championship on Sunday. Through the course of the race, Hamilton's fortunes gradually improved as he made his way through 4 spots to finish in 4th place by lap 53. However, George Russell's left front tire caused Red Bull number 2 Sergio Perez to spin off the track limits early in the race, which may have ultimately benefited the Silver Arrows. The collision happened on the very first lap at the notorious Red Bull Ring Turn 4, which is known for creating wheel-to-wheel collisions, including one between Pierre Gasly and Sebastian Vettel on lap 40 and one between Alex Albon and Lewis Hamilton earlier in the 2022 season. One of the greatest accidents of the race involved Ferrari's Carlos Sainz, who dropped from the third to a DNF after his engine abruptly caught fire, while teammate Charles Leclerc battled through his own reliability troubles to take the win. The circumstances for Mercedes could not be more dissimilar. Toto Wolff's persistent, repeated faith in his team appears to have paid off after the team struggled throughout the first half of the season with aero troubles and numerous engineering setbacks, much to Hamilton's satisfaction and pride. During qualifying 2, the 37-year-old champion struck turn 7 hard, sending the vehicle into a slide to limit damage. However, the car received a strong hit to the right side of the vehicle, severely destroying the front right suspension. After the race, Hamilton remarked, "It was just getting your head around that since we were looking so strong in qualifying and then I crashed. The team put forth a lot of effort to create a new car for me. Naturally, that has an impact on everything, including our budget and the number of people who must create new parts. Since that's never a good feeling, getting up there and contributing to the team's success is hopefully a small way for me to express my gratitude. I'm overjoyed to place 3rd and 4th. Russell, although finishing in a strong P4, wasn't too happy with the outcome of the race. Russell recalled the lap 1 accident that led to a 5-second fine. I had Carlos ahead of me and Checo on the clean line on the outside. On lap 12, he served this penalty in the pits, ceding his position to Esteban Ocon, who finished in 5th place with a strong performance. Russell bemoaned, "Once he turned in, I knew he was going to make contact. My automobile and I had already reached the limit. I was powerless to stop him from coming at me from that angle." Wolff, on the other hand, appeared to be enjoying the Grand Prix with his family while displaying a mix of cautious optimism. Despite a strong finish, both Mercedes cars lagged Leclerc's winning race pace by about a minute, demonstrating that despite stronger form, the German team still had room to improve. When questioned by the media following the race, the team manager said, "We're simply lacking a few tenths here and there. I believe we have to cut the deficit in half during the past few months." He added, "I believe we have cut the gap in half during the past 3 months. We could have kept Max if we had started in the top 6, which we did. It obviously wasn't helpful. We completed 2 of the 3 levels, which was a rustic project. The guys did an excellent job, but we started out on the wrong foot still. Given the nature of the track, we weren't anticipating tremendous results, but I think we simply need to keep working hard." Preparing for the French Grand Prix. The next Formula One race will be held at the circuit Paul Ricard, which has a traditional balanced mix of high, medium, and low-speed corners and has historically been one of the most used test courses in the world. These circumstances favor Mercedes' balanced approach to designing their race cars, which Wolff concurs with. Ricard should be fine. It's a smooth track with quick turns, similar to Silverstone. At least on paper, I believe we can perform well there, but we lack speed. We need more power and are much too sluggish, especially Russell's car. The recent race's high altitude could be to blame. Mercedes will have some technical problems over the next 2 weeks, but the team spirit has undoubtedly returned, as evidenced by Hamilton's reappearance of his trademark grin after a protracted absence. Wolff is enthusiastic about his team's confidence at this point in the season, saying it's genuinely good. we can see that we're beginning to degrade the leader's performance, which is crucial. We've reached a milestone that we've always predicted would come when we've won 8 consecutive championships. Ensure that it's a brief blip and not the beginning of a lengthy cycle. Will Red Bull be favored over Mercedes on their usual French GP course? Mercedes has every reason to be optimistic about their chances at the French GP after winning both events at the Paul Ricard track with ease since its return to the schedule in 2018. The COVID-19 pandemic caused it to be cancelled the previous year. At the Portugal-Spain back-to-back, before the last 2 street circuits, which are frequently referred to as outliers due to their unconventional designs in comparison to conventional F1 locations, they also had a faster car than Red Bull. The French Grand Prix is undoubtedly a more natural circuit, as Verstappen referred to it while expressing regret over not pulling away from Hamilton in Baku. If not for this terrible mishap, his lead would have been 15 points. Mercedes had some issues on the street circuits, but as you could see also in Barcelona, they're mighty quick, said Verstappen. For sure, Mercedes will be very strong on normal tracks, he added. Even though they don't always admit it, they too drive a very fine car, so we must remain vigilant and exert maximum effort. It's true. It's just unfortunate. Before we return to those types of tracks, I wanted to widen that gap a little bit more. What's the fight about with Mercedes? When Mercedes announced an aerodynamic modification to the vehicle that was initially tested during the opening test in Barcelona 2 weeks ago, they made a splash at the start of the Bahrain test on Thursday. The update reduces the size of the side pods and replaces the required side impact structures with aerodynamic wing sections that are attached to wing mirrors. Homer, who expressed concerns about the new design's legality at this week's last preseason test in Bahrain, was quoted by Germany's Auto Motor on Sport. Horner claims, "Those are 2 wings, not mirror mounts. They also constructed vertical baffles on top. They don't relate in any way to the mirror mount." When Horner was present for the official news conference on Friday, he was questioned regarding the apparent discrepancy in his stance. Comments that were undoubtedly not made have been quoted. He retorted, "It's an intriguing solution and the car is clever. The Mercedes appears to be in compliance with the rules. Simply put, it's a different view and approach." There isn't really anything that defines the spirit of the laws, he said. They're either followed or not. We shouldn't really pass judgment on that. Who has speed? Which teams were in the best competitive shape? According to Horner, it was impossible to tell. What you can say is that the first glimpse of the gasoline coming out, when drivers are running as close to the weights restriction as they can, won't happen until qualifying for the Bahrain Grand Prix on Saturday, he added. I don't believe Mercedes has yet displayed their hand. Ferrari seems to be the top team. Hopefully we'll be able to attend as well. It appears that McLaren has a potent vehicle. Alpine has a powerful vehicle. So, are you waiting for the French GP? If you want to stay updated, subscribe to F1 Viral now. F1 Viral now.